Welcome back to Fire Emblem Engage. Last time we awakened a new emblem ring, the Emblem of Rivals, which I have here on Lapis, and demonstrated its powers a little bit in the Tempest Trials, a mode that I haven't shown off before. This time though, we'll be getting into the DLC proper. These are actual chapters that give you real rewards and experience, but also people really die in them. Completing each one will give you a new emblem to use. But this one must be done first, the Divine Paralog Dragon Temple. Now, an important note about these maps is, they actually scale similarly to how the skirmishes do. So, the enemies will be roughly the same, but you'll be seeing them at much higher levels since I'm doing these ones after beating the main storyline. Now, one thing I will ask people in the comments though, what does duration elsewhere about 20 turns mean? I actually don't know. I don't know if it's meant to be estimating how long the map is going to take, or if it means like 20 turns worth of time passes on the rest of the world map. Anyway, let's go in. Because we're going to be having a very important meeting with someone right here. Someone Martha's told Aaliyah a lot of stories about. Now it's finally time for the two to meet.
Here we are, the island south of Firene. I definitely feel the presence of an emblem.
That looks like an altar over there.
With a bracelet resting on top of it. Must be the emblem inside, I'm sensing.
I love the designs of all the DLC bracelets. They're all just so evocative of their emblems.
Yes, I feel it now.
What is it, Divine One?
I think an invocation just came to me.
You had a pretty long pause for that, but that's probably because you might have sensed who this is.
I'll try summoning the emblem now.
Dreamwell, Emblem of Dragons!
With Emblem Tiki, you too can enjoy the dragon transformation that Aaliyah wishes they had. Tiki's most notable qualities come into play while engaged, but first I'll go over her sync skills. Star Sphere is the most infamous, as it adds 15 to all her users' growth rates, including build, where 15% is a huge deal. Geosphere at Bond 3 gives a defense and resistance buff to the user and all adjacent allies for one turn if there are adjacent allies, which can provide a small boost to durability. Light Sphere at Bond 8 restores 20 HP to the user if they use weight, but more importantly, heals their status. And at Bond 10, you get Light Sphere, halving the foe's crit rate when initiating combat. The issue is, Tiki already boosts luck significantly, and in the original Mystery of the Emblem, this completely prevented enemy criticals. Usually when you face enemies with crit rates in Engage, they're fairly low anyway, and changing a 5% into a 2% is still gonna make you salty when you get unlucky. But again, it's her Engage skill that's the most notable. Draconic Form turns her user into a dragon while engaged. In practice, this means you get HP plus 10, build plus 5, and all other basic stats plus 5. The plus 5 on speed is especially significant. Armored units also gain immunity to terrain damage, while mystical units get resistance plus 10 instead of 5. The trade-off with this is that you cannot use your own weapons while engaged. Instead, you'll be using Tiki's Engage weapon, which I'm showing here in lieu of her Engage attack, which I'll cover later. Everyone has access to Eternal Claw, a high crit rate melee weapon, and Tail Smash, a high might smash melee weapon. But every other class type gets its own type of breath. All of these have the effect of acting like a smash weapon, but not actually pushing the enemy, so they strike last and can't double attack. They also have identical might, accuracy, and weight. They also treat the enemy's relevant defensive stat as if it was half its usual value, Totally ignoring defense is sadly an exclusive privilege of enemy dragons. Most units get Fire Breath, which is just the standard one with no additional effects. Dragons get Fog Breath from Tiki's Divine Dragon form in Mystery of the Emblem, which is effective against dragons and creates fog tiles. Armored units channel Ice Dragons and get a breath that freezes foes. Flying units get the Flame Breath of Mystery of the Emblem's Wyverns, that hits a wider area but at less damage, and mystical units get the Dark Breath of Mage Dragons, which is a magical attack but otherwise has no additional effects. You can kill multiple enemies at once with these, and some of the bonus effects, in particularly Area Freeze from Armored and creating Fog for Dragons, can be really nice. And that's not even getting into Tiki's Engage attack. Divine Blessing does not do any damage, instead it grants an adjacent ally a Revival Stone. This works the same way that multiple health bars do for enemy bosses, including the fact that if an enemy breaks your Revival Stone, you don't get to counterattack that combat. But still, there are infinite possibilities to having an extra life on one of your characters. You could also think of it as doubling their HP. But wait, there's more! For dragons, they also restore 20 HP to that ally, Key Adepts also heal their status effects, and if Marth is adjacent, you get potentially one of the most hilarious Emblem team-up effects in the game. Seriously, when I first read this, I did a double take and wondered if it was even real. If ally is not synced, fully restore HP. If synced, +3 to engage meter. If engaged, restores engage turns. This can result in powerful engage forms like Ike's or Roy's going even longer than usual. Additional note, as I just found out something while making this bio. So it turns out this refreshing of engage turns can allow you to use Houses Unite twice in a row with Byleth. So that's one additional action on top of that existing insanity. This also implies it refreshes your engage attack in general, and that opens up some other insanity too. Additionally, using this with the 13th Emblem's Engage Plus will refresh the engage turns of both characters in the pair. At higher bond levels, only 2 of her sphere skills upgrade. Life Sphere just restores more HP, 30 at bond 14 and 40 at bond 19, while Geosphere raises its buff from +3 to +5 defense and resistance. Tiki's final stat bonuses are +10 HP, +4 defense, and +10 luck. Between that and her dragon form, she makes her user incredibly bulky. Tiki's inheritance is somewhat notable for being the only way to get arts proficiency before you get Byleth after chapter 14. And also for inheritable Star Sphere. For maximum benefit, you want to get this as soon as possible. Her stat bonus is HP and Luck Plus, making you bulky and resistant to criticals, and her guard skill is Special Guard, which mostly affects breath, any weapons that don't count as a specific other weapon type. Her other inheritance is just the Sphere skills, and of them, Life Sphere is nice for a buffer against status. Overall, Tiki has amazing support synergy with Marth, along with letting anyone be a fairly strong but one range locked combat unit.
More am I? No, excuse me, but who are you?
Before we get into this, I just have to say one thing. Mela Lee's take on Tiki. Is it just me, or does her accent get more and more ridiculously Cockney with every game she is in? Now, I haven't played Warriors, and I don't play much of Heroes, so my main exposure to her Tiki voice was Awakening, and it was so much more subtle then. Now, it's just almost Mary Poppins levels of Cockney to me. Of, like, imitation Cockney. Like, I don't mind Jaune, but this legitimately kind of bothers me.
I'm the Divine Dragon. We came here because I sensed your presence.
Divine Dragon? Why, that's what I am too. My name is Emblem Tiki. I must thank you for waking me. I feel I've been asleep for a very long time.
I can relate to that, Tiki. Do you happen to remember anything from before your sleep?
Were you the unwitting minion of an evil overlord trying to destroy the world, maybe?
I know my bracelet friends and I were all somewhere, very far away.
You know what? It actually just hit me. I was joking, but that's legitimately true.
We fought in so many battles. I cannot recall how they ended.
Yeah, so this right here, like, you might think it's referring to her home game. This is actually a tease for the Felzinologue, but we'll get to that much later.
I do remember someone very gentle helping me to sleep. I wonder who it was.
And we'll find out who that is much later.
Someone gentle.
I was kept asleep in my former world too. It was to protect me, but I was still quite frightened. But then Mama made it so that I didn't need to sleep anymore.
Yeah, this right here is why I don't like the thing with Milla and Duma and Echoes, because it's implied that, like, the binding shield stopped Tiki from degenerating. So I don't get why that's... I mean, admittedly, the binding shield isn't assembled until after Echoes, but I suppose maybe it does make sense.
Do you mean Marth? Are you talking about events from the time of the Hero King?
You know him?
Oh yes, we more than know him. Don't take that the wrong way.
I do. Emblem Marth has been a guardian of Elios for a long time. If you'd be willing to join him in fighting to save this world, we'd be very grateful.
We've still got some corrupted to clean up.
I would love to join your group. Traveling with so many new friends sounds like fun. But if I'm to join you, I'd like to see what drives you to fight. Will you show me your essence?
That doesn't involve having our soul pulled out of our body or anything.
Of course. How do we do that?
Why, that's easy. You can battle against me. Then I'll know your true nature. And you don't need to hold back. I am really quite strong.
Yeah, how strong she is actually does depend on how strong you are. You'll see. Because an interesting thing about this is that the bosses, like, their engaged weapons actually scale in power based on the average level of your army. Okay, we can only select 8 units for this, but first, let's preview the map itself. This chapter is based on, the Ice Dragon Shrine from Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem and its remake. And it's got a new gimmick to it. These frost floors. Anybody who begins their turn on a frost floor has 2 extra movement, so the enemies inside here, they can catch up to you pretty dang fast. Of course, this doesn't affect flyers, however, we also have a new type of enemy. Phantom Wyverns. Yep, Wyverns are back! And can you imagine just how horrifying these ones would be if they were in Mystery of the Emblem? Because these ones, if they hit you, you get frozen. And it doesn't matter whether they use their Ice Ball or their regular breath, however, they don't have a 4-range breath like the Fire Dragons. They also have this skill, Frost Domain, which is mostly annoying because it wastes a lot of time at the start of every enemy phase. But yeah, every tile within 2 spaces of them at the start of the enemy phase becomes an ice tile. So yeah, the enemies will have a lot of movement, but the good news is, so will you, because you benefit from the ice tiles as well. So the gimmick of this map is that there is an ice barrier on 2 out of 3 of the rooms, and we need to step on these sigils, as Matthew Mercer would say, one by one. So first that one, then this one, and then it'll open up the room where Tiki is. Now, if you look at this, Tiki doesn't even have any weapons equipped. What a joke, right? Oh, yeah, you say that now. So another thing to note here is that it says that Tiki is like level 40. Enemies can actually exceed the level cap, like if your average army's level is higher than 20, or in the case of special classes 40, it just won't be displayed on their screens. But all the enemies here seem to have, most of them aren't quite about 20 points. So let me just check out their stats a little bit. Their stats aren't actually super high. I tested the Divine Paralogs on a post-game file in my own time, and didn't find them to be that difficult. I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't, make you work too hard for something you paid real-life money for. But okay, yeah, we do get, speaking of things you paid real-life money for, some of these enemies do drop items, and they're quite useful staves. Now, an interesting thing is that these enemies here, they have silent staves. On Maddening, they're free staves. So there are some changes based on the difficulty, but overall, we've got some chances. Okay, one more thing that I need to go over. This right here. Yeah, this might look really suspicious to you. You can only reach this via a warp staff. So oh, actually, no, technically, you can go... I didn't notice that when I first played this. That's actually really cool. You don't actually need a warp staff to get that. Which is good, because it's a very important item. That's actually where the secret shop where you could buy Dragonstones was in the original Mystery of the Emblem, which was such a cool thing. That's just kind of a shame you didn't really have much incentive to use Tiki as anything besides a Divine Dragon. But anyway, okay, we get to choose 8 people, and you do want to bring Marth's user to this map, because Marth has special boss dialogue with Tiki. I obviously want to make use of the Emblem of Rivals here, because we just got it. Clan's been getting a lot of MVPs lately. I think he can afford to sit this one out. Actually, high movement is also very useful here, but... And having a dancer, too. Okay, let's begin.
Now then, show me your strength.
Yes, I know, there are barriers. I already explained those.
These doors are protected by a powerful force.
Yes, I know, there are sigils here that will remove that powerful force.
These sigils are the only way to unseal the doors. Do your best to reach me.
Perhaps it would be wise to head for that sigil first.
Well, it's literally the only one we can access, so we had no other options. And we have a repeat of Marth's paralogue theme here, and in fact, this is probably likely to be the first time you hear
Whatever you need.
Since you don't have access to Marth's paralogue for a really long time, but a lot of people who have the DLC would want to do this map as soon as possible. It's just like, I just prefer to save it for later, just because of, I've said before, but,
Another kill for me.
the DLC emblems do basically ruin one of the main gameplay shakeups in the main storyline, so I prefer to leave them for now. And it might mean some of them are a little easy, but they're kind of more meant to be fun throwbacks than actual brutal difficulty. No, that comes later. Yeah.
That must have hurt.
The map's meant to test your gameplay skill. Those are the Felzina logs.
I'll do it.
You'll see. You'll all see. Okay, I don't think I want to set that space on fire. Oh, I just realized you're a covert. That was not exactly a smart idea. Okay.
This isn't so bad.
I am very tempted
Won't you join me?
to burn my Twin Strike just so that you stop being annoying. Okay, that transition was really cool, admittedly. So, none of the enemies here are corrupted, so corrupted effectiveness is not as useful as it is in the main story. Everything here is fabrication, so there's like no such thing as fabrication effectiveness. Kind of wish there was, but still. Okay.
How mysterious.
Yes, indeed, how mysterious. The staff enemies that are inside those little, little kind of mini-forts there, essentially, they can only be damaged by longbows and things like thunder. Just trying to think whether I go for a... Because I'm definitely going to get Byleth back later, so I might as well burn Goddess Dance now. Kind of wish that I could get a 3-person Goddess Dance.
Let the lesson begin.
But just, there was no real way that I... Hang on. Yeah, because Jean was standing right there where the 3rd person would be, so there was no way that I could pronounce that as person somehow. Oh, also, yeah, flyers can go in there too. Low wall flyers only. Okay, well, I mean, I suppose I can I can shut that off, because I just realized that I forgot to bring Silence Ward on anybody. Also, yeah, you got Flashing Fist art, which is going to mean that you take a little more damage.
I won't let this go to
Do you like the way the low walls look, though? But yeah, the main reason why I did that engage was for Yunaka, and I also had to rearrange my inventory because it kind of makes sense, but yeah, everything you use in Tempest Trials does not carry over, so I needed to give people treats again. Okay, probably don't want Yunaka exposed to too many of those at once. In fact, yeah, you might notice because they're both on ice floor, they can actually get really far into the map.
I can fight.
Any customers?
Although, I do have Canter. Trying to think if there's anyone here who's actually in, like, active danger of this Halberdier right now. I think it can attack Jean. So we should probably head back here. It's probably going to go for Louis and break him, though. And here's that thing that I was mentioning about these enemies getting really annoying, because, yeah, this happens. You'll have to sit through this, like, this is part of why I like to kill them as fast as I can. Oh, hey, Louis doesn't get broken because he takes no damage. But, I mean, he's not counterattacking, so it's still effectively the same thing. Okay, right. Enemies were just thinking there. Yeah, speaking of annoying, the annoying thing about the Emblem of Rivals is you're gonna have to sit through that, friendly rivalry trigger every turn.
Emblem, engage!
Yeah, I can fail naught you over the wall. Yeah, because these enemies like to be really annoying and attack you from within that wall.
No obstacle will stand.
It's really, really hard to kill them off without 3-range weapons. But my plan here is to try and lure you in, because I'm pretty sure...
This ice is rather slippery. We could use it to hasten our step, so long as we are careful.
Yes, I know that. The terrain UI already explained that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that... Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, yeah, because I have 3 range. If you attack me from any range, you will die. So that's going to be kind of cool, but how much damage do you do? Because you've got to remember that this ignores defense. If only Tiki had was that lucky, but no, she does not outright ignore defense. She simply halves it with, like, her breath attacks. Of course, since she's our enemy right now,
Come again.
it's kind of a relief that she doesn't fully ignore our defense, but we'll see that later. Now, is that cap magic? It is. Okay, so this is the as high as your magic can possibly go as a warrior. Yeah, I don't exactly want to burn, I'm going to use the rapier just to guarantee that I'll be able to counter no matter what they do. But yeah, I don't really want to burn my bondage shield right now. So the thing with this map is... that it can potentially be... Like, the first time I played it, not a lot of reinforcements spawned. But if you take too long in this one, you will trigger basically kind of Reinforce-Ageddon. It's not quite Reinforce-Ageddon, but it's a lot of reinforcements, and it can really bog things down. So I don't want to be too slow early on. So this I do think is, like, good map design, because it's kind of encouraging... it's encouraging you to hasten, but also to not be too reckless. Because the extra movement on these enemies means that they're on you before you might expect. The problem is I'm gonna have to divert somebody to get that physics staff over on the far right-hand side of the map. And I believe that freezes him.
No obstacle will stand.
Unless... Yeah, unless you have to be alive for the freeze effect to kick in. No, I can see that movement X icon there. She's definitely frozen. So yeah, Restore Staff's probably handy here as well. I was about to say, I wonder if we can get rare footage of an actual Aaliyah kill here, but no. At least Anna can cut you down with the Radiant Bow.
Allow me.
It's kind of interesting we've got a rearrangement of the sort of map. I think they call it each map's beginning, which I still think is a weird way to describe it, but like a lot of the early Fire Emblem songs have really strange names. like Theme of Encounter, I think is the recruitment theme. Well, speaking of being a little careful, maybe we shouldn't go too far in with Anna just yet. I just wanted to take you down. I think hopefully Jean should be able to go through and take out the other Halberdier. Yeah, this is actually worth a surprising amount of experience too. I mean, that's at least one good thing about these maps, is it kind of means that they do provide a decent amount of experience regardless of where you are in the game. Oh, Nova will actually kill the thief. I don't think anybody else here can do that. Yeah, but can't really put Louis there because there's a Mage Knight. Of course, I can also, though.
Quick change!
No, it's probably best if I focus on this. Although I may have to fortify if I do this. Yes, this is the difference between this and the
This love is a crime.
Tempest Trials. I actually have to think here, and I like that. I definitely need to heal you, though, and I do probably need to hop you out of range of the Axeman. Yeah, see, I can hit you from pretty far away, but I do want to get closer. I do want to make sure that I make my way into the temple as fast as I can. Because reinforcements will eventually start spawning. And I want to make sure that I'm well and truly... I like to be around into the center of the temple before the reinforcements spawn. Speaking of which, though, I really don't like Aaliyah being this far back. However, I especially do not want Lapis this far back. I might have been able to achieve this same effect by, rescue staffing her, but still. I just realized it's the Mystery of the Emblem victory is near theme that's part of this medley. Which you don't really hear referenced all that much, that's cool. I was kind of hoping you would do that, because thanks to Thyrsus, I get to counter you and not kill you, because okay then. Yeah, if only this was actually Mystery of the Emblem, but one of the really interesting things about Mystery of the Emblem is that fire magic and fire dragons were effective against ice dragons in that game, and they removed that in the remake for some reason. I mean, it doesn't annoy me quite as much as them removing, I only have 2 turns left on my 3 houses engage. I do like how there's this pattern of tiles here that kind of match the ice.
No obstacle will stand.
It is really nice seeing these maps, like, re-envisioned in 3D. It's very cool. No pun intended here, but yeah, it's just... I was about to say, it's not quite as annoying to me personally as them removing Fina, having, like, Fina was the dancer in that game, by the way, in Mystery of the Emblem, and, so she was able to use the rapier in the original, and for some reason, she can't use the rapier in the remake. And it just, I don't like that, because in the original, the fact that Fina could use the rapier implied that she was secretly royalty, or was like some kind of illegitimate child of royalty and unaware of it, but yeah, they totally removed that in the remake for some reason. Just like, also like, yeah, like there's I don't know, now I'm getting into sort of, just the reason why I don't like talking about this is I feel like these are just the kind of things that a lot of people use to just write off the entirety of, like, new Mystery of the Emblem as, like, complete garbage. I'm sure there are some people who feel that way, entirely because of this, but, okay, yeah, if I lure in the 2 Mage Knights with Jean, I should be good here. So let's just snipe you down. But yeah, I was going to mention how they, Mystery of the Emblem removed the implication that the original founder of Arcanea was actually a thief.
Yunaka here.
Like, that was, like, kind of a cool aspect of the lore, and yeah, it is kind of sad that got removed. Okay, if I'm doing this, though, I do need to make sure that I... Oh, and some of them have physical weapons too, don't they? Yeah, they do. It's interesting, like, you don't often see Mage Knights in Engage use physical weapons. And their strength stats actually are bad, so maybe I made a bad call putting Jean there. I suppose we will find out, because I sort of want to snipe you. And this isn't just because I want to put Sigurd on ice, because Sigurd on ice, which is the musical nobody asked for, is fun. Not least of which because of this. Yeah, the ice actually affects Canter. So you get +2 movement on Canter if you're on ice, and that is actually really interesting. Because, yeah, I like that. I mean, we've seen before that Canter is affected by terrain movement cost, but this is kind of the first instance of seeing it affected by something this radical, and it's really cool.
You cleaned that one up nicely.
Apparently I can't even physic from in here. I don't know if the walls are blocking me or if I just don't have enough range. Oh, neither of them can get into melee with Yunaka anyway, so she's probably fine. I think they actually can get into melee with Jean, though, so he might not be fine. We'll see. Yep, hi there. That's probably your Silverlands, and he's fine. Barely, but he's fine.
Should I have held back?
And you are more than fine. But yeah, that is Bolganone. I believe the enemy equipment does scale according to their level as well.
If this love is a
I don't know if it
crime-
scales the same way skirmish, like enemy weapons scale, but it might. I mean, I would say that build boost is nice, but I mean, I guess it does help with Sigurd's weapons. So, okay, I've broken through, like, the initial onslaught in the middle, but maybe I use Jean to heal here. Well, I mean, unless Ivy... I mean, please tell me that you actually can get in Physic, Ivy. You should be able to. Yeah, there we go, okay. Of course, Jean himself also needs healing, as does Lapis. A lot of people need healing, so maybe I should have kept that Fortify Staff. I just have that kind of Elixir Syndrome with those Final Fantasy Elixir Syndrome, although it kind of applies to Fire Emblem Elixirs as well. That's a Swordmaster, but I can potentially do a super mega hilarious Cancer if I wanted to. Huh, okay, you're equipping Ice Ball, which means that I can get the drop on you without getting counterattacked. You, meanwhile, have Freezing Breath, so I cannot do that. So I guess I can snipe you down. This, wow, I was like,
There is nothing to
with that
fear.
light coming through the ceiling and the purple on the wings, that does look really cool. But yeah, a lot of things can reach you from where you least expect it because of the ice, so... But I think I have more efficient means of taking out the warrior. For example, Jean. And you know what am I saying? I can dance for Ivy and get Ivy to use, though I do need to remember I need to have somebody as my designated physic getter. Of course, I can do it via a warp or a rewarp from Ivy, maybe. Which might be what I end up needing to do.
I owe you for that.
Because I do like to have as many people as possible around the temple, because I kind of like to do a multi-pronged assault here. So, Mr. Warrior, you have 46 attack. I think Jean is fine. And I should be doubling with Bolganone. Fortunately, Alear is definitely a little bit more behind than I would like him. Huh, you know, if I, like, warped Anna in there, potentially I can, like, rescue in there, and then get her closer to Marth, so... Get her closer to Tiki, I mean, so yeah, that actually sounds perfect, to quote Jean himself. Yeah, let's not fall victim to Elixir Syndrome and actually use our elixirs. And, of course, let's get on the ice, just in case I need to move super, super far next turn. The question is, though, does that Ice Dragon reach you, Naka, from down there? I suppose we'll find out. I had a feeling that would hit, but at the very least, you die.
Goodbye.
All the ice in here should be very, very melted right now with all these Volcanones I'm dropping. Hi there. Okay, right, that... You move, but you didn't actually attack anybody. So, how far can I warp you? I just have rewarp, I don't have actual warp. In that case, I think if that is gone, I think Anna should be able to reach the Wyvern. I would do my classic Wyvern song from Mystery of the Emblem, but I'm not going to do it here because I think we will be seeing more of these Wyverns in later
Don't
paralogs.
waste my time.
They are a DLC paralog exclusive enemy, so yeah, get used to seeing them a lot. Okay, that is interesting. It seems like there are generals basically everywhere, so I definitely need a magical presence to break through those. A magical presence or Erica. And no reason not to use this if you're not going to be damaging me anyway.
And so your tale ends.
And yes, just barely enough movement to get in with this Radiant Bow. Didn't even need to bring Alcrest because I forgot Anna was a bow user for a moment in the prep screen. I still like that purple on the underside of their wings. They look almost weirdly butterfly-like, but I mean, there are like, I think like D&D has like Fey Dragons that have butterfly elements to them. No, probably shouldn't expose you to a Swordmaster. However, I can get a little bit of healing in on Louis.
Why, thank you.
So yeah, this is about the point where I like to split up my group and try and just go for all areas of the map simultaneously. I have not forgotten about that physics staff, don't worry. Oh, I love that ice canter. This is a bit of a waste of Yunaka's movement, though. But she does have Erica, so she can kind of pierce through those generals' defenses. Like so. Oh wait, no, only if she initiates combat, right. Yeah, once again, engage definitely doesn't encourage this kind of baiting. Of course, it does sort of work with Lapis here, but yeah, even my Lapis at this high of a level can't double these Sword Masters. And we've now provoked a whole lot of things, but you know what, that's fine. It's like the now all of China knows you're here meme. Because this is just going to make it easier for me to... I don't like that General just got bondage shielded, but I've got options. Because yeah, I can snipe that away, then canter, and then have a mage take out the general.
Nailed it.
Now I'm just remembering the first time that I ever heard that Together We Ride from, I don't think it's even called that back then. It was just called Fire Emblem in Smash Bros. Melee. When I first heard that when I got the Challenger approaching for Marth, it was just like, wow, this song is so cool. Had no idea what the series was. And then, of course, the first Fire Emblem, first Fire Emblem the West on GBA came out, and I see, you know, Hector, and I'm like, oh, that's Marth, right? That's gotta be Marth.
Here we go.
They must have changed then Roy to Eliwood, and Hector to Marth for the English localization. Was kind of aware of localization changes even back then. You have 11 sword. I doubt that's gonna really do much. Here's the thing, though. Whatever happens, you do not want to get hit by 2 wyverns in the same turn. Just saying, that usually doesn't end well. I'm just kind of planning. I kind of feel like, in hindsight, Louis was not really the best choice for this map. I just wanted somebody cavalry, but effectively everybody's cavalry here because of the +2 movement on the Frost. So I'm just thinking about who I use my dance with. Because I probably need to kill at least one of the wyverns. And for that, I probably need Anna. And at least we have perfect accuracy to show for ourselves here.
Thank you.
Well, let's not start thanking people just yet. Up to Bond 18 here. Oh, because we have... Okay, no, that wyvern's really far away. Oh, and I'm on Claude. If I was on Edelgard right now, I could use Flame Gambit to slow them down, but, like, that's the problem with the Emblem of Rivals. You don't really know... Like, you can't really plan for which one you'll be on at any given time.
Allow me.
Keep it coming.
I mean, Poison Gambit's pretty good against bosses, but, we'll maybe see the effect of that once we reach Tiki herself. Speaking of which, yeah, the number of health bars Tiki has does depend on the scaling of this map. Oh, right, you're on ice, which means Jean might actually be in danger. However, Alira's on ice, which means he can bondage shield Jean, who's probably the one most likely to get killed here.
Lend me your strength.
Of course, if a whole bunch of things attack Alira at once, that's also not going to end well. Now let's bondage shield Jean, though, just to be... In fact, I can also bondage shield Ivy, but let's maybe keep Ivy away from things if we're bondage shielding her, just in case I get that 10% bondage shield fail.
I'll go first.
Get one free.
Thank you, Anna.
Well done.
Actually, no, it's more, thank you, Aaliyah there, because it was kind of sheer luck that he would do his. And this could be really bad, actually. I think she might be dead. Is she adjacent? She's not quite, is she? No! Yeah, she is dead, isn't she?
That's it.
Take and bondage shield Jean.
Who's probably the one most likely to get killed here.
Oh, she was literally the first one I moved, wasn't she? Though I just realized if I canted her to the opposite direction, I think she's probably fine.
Another kill for me.
Alternatively, if Jean is going there... See, if now I know that I'm going to use bondage shields, like I can plan ahead. Just realized that, technically speaking, there's no reason not to use Poison Gambit here if I'm attacking anyway. Might as well get poisoned. And you can canter into the bondage shield. Oh, with 11's all, you only have 16 magic attack. I was kind of worried that you could, like, finish Louis off in combination with the Wyvern, but then I was like, actually, that is not really going to do much at all.
Stay back.
Hopefully this works out. I don't know if the Wyvern is in... No, the Wyvern's not in range. It is in range of Louis, though, but, I mean... Oh, that can double! I did not know that could... I mean, technically speaking, said out a lot, and that's probably not the real way to use that term, but, like, phrase. But, like, yeah, none of the Dragon's Breaths say they can't double. Like, I've said before, like, theoretically, you could get doubled by a Corrupted Worm. It's just really, really, really unlikely. But it looks like it's happened to Louis here.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's just, like, you're more likely to see it from Wyverns because Corrupted Worms have, like, 3 speed. Whereas this Wyvern has... How much does this Wyvern have? 15, yeah. So that's doubling Louis, but basically nobody else. And now I'm just going to shoot you. Because I don't take kindly to Wyverns doubling me.
Our bonds give me strength.
I do take kindly to the fact that was barely enough for a one-shot. Okay, so now we've got the center corridor cleared out. We should be pretty much good right now. So, okay, now I have to decide who to send down this corridor. We have Mage and 2 Paladins, okay.
That was eye-opening.
Okay, so Ivy has Rewarp and Rescue, but no Warp. So she's going to need to take Warp from Aaliyah. Okay, dancing to get Anna closer to this side. Now, I probably want Yunaka over here to get poison on Tiki. That looks so cool with the fiery torch in the background, though.
Drop your guard. If this love is
Okay, I'm glad I quit there, because that was a bit of a misclick. I should have attacked from out of your range. But yeah, the Bolganone guy has basically no choice but to die right now. So if I convoy from here... How far can I warp Anna? Because I need both warp and rescue. Okay. Not quite far enough yet. Also, gotta remember, someone needs to press that. And I also need to warp somebody there for that reward. So, for that, I'm actually gonna have you convoy another warp staff. But I'll need to remember to use that warp staff later on. Kind of want it to be one of the last things I do on the map, because otherwise I'm going to have somebody stuck in that icy area with no rescue. So next turn I'll plan my assault on that part of the map, but I think I'm going to have Lapis go there. And that's actually a pretty impressive amount of damage on Yunaka, but it missed anyway. You had like 50 magic attack if I remember right.
There is nothing to fear.
Which may actually be higher than Jean. Also, those doors look really cool on the map view. Can I warp you? Yes, I can. Okay, so if I warp you down there, I should be able to start longbowing that guy, and then I can rescue her back. And now, unfortunately, I need to redirect somebody to get that chest. But I suppose Byleth and the Three Houses emblem should go in the same direction. Here's the thing. So you deal... You can only attack with Ice Ball from there, so that's 27 damage. Then I believe you can only attack with Thoron from there. which is 52 magic attack versus his resistance. I'm just trying to think about whether he dies to that. But I mean, I could just bide my time on this tile and rush him with Ice later.
Don't waste it on me.
Probably for the best that I don't go in, like, just like I was saying before that engages about, you know, being proactive. It's probably best that I wait for now. In fact, actually, here's another cool thing about Seedol, is that he lets you, position yourself on ice with your first move, and then, take advantage of the ice on your next move. So you can actually go all the way up there and, take 32 damage. However, if I go over here and engage...
Emblem, engage!
I don't think you can actually get me with your counterattack, because it's only... Really? Oh, actually, Nova's doing well for once. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, it's not often that it's that great, but it has its uses also with animation. Does look really cool when stacked over and over and over. Yeah, and even if you try and fall on me, you're going to be taking a counterattack because Thyrsus. Now, I don't want to go there because it seems like the enemies can get you, but you can't get them if you do that. So, like I said, well, I mean, you're eating a counterattack, but it's not a very good one because Nova, but it was worth it if it meant destroying that Wyvern. Anything to see less of those ice animations at the start of all those turns, so okay. Yeah, it takes me 2 turns to take you down, that's fine. I don't think Marth would have helped there. Okay, so step 1. Jean attacks, and just for the heck of it, I'm going to use Nova.
Should I have held back?
Lapis heads to the side of Jean. Thanks to the ice, Seedol can dance for Jean. And now the question is, do I got it? Actually, no, if I do Goddess Dance, I can have Seedol dance for me. I'm just trying to think whether I can get Jean in there. We'll see. So, okay. Let's step on this sigil. Actually, I probably could have opened the chest in the same turn. And yeah, it makes ice, but if the enemies are mostly gone...
The door's open. We should use the other sigil as well.
It's not like it makes a huge difference.
The floor is turned to ice. Tread carefully, Divine One.
I actually think the floor turning to ice is sort of meant to let you get to the other sigil faster. Being stationary here gets both of you. Yeah, you know what? I think I will preview my options a little bit. Actually, he could Chain Guard. That's not a terrible idea, but okay, let's just see. Because, okay, if I go... Yeah, my main worry is that I get... If I get hit by that, then these two probably kill me. I don't think this is a great idea. Both of them would have to hit me on, like, 50s to actually kill, but, okay, that miss means she's fine. Like, realistically, all 3 of them had to hit her, which would have meant, like, 3 coin flips. And, yeah, you guys can still attack me, but that's fine. Unfortunately, Aaliyah's gonna run out, but I could get it back. Just in preparation, I'm gonna have Ivy go a little closer. And now, thankfully, we only have to sit through 1 Frost Domain activation.
Who's next?
I'm gonna have the 3 houses engage ready right after everything's already dead. Was she just doing like a flying, like spinning buzzsaw with her Wyvern in midair? That was really cool. I don't think I've seen that animation before. But okay, let's just finish you off now and get myself that physics staff. I still love it when an enemy is like about to die to a bow shot and like you can just see them standing there being like, oh no, right before the arrow hits them. Another physic is good, another rewarp is also very good, and wow, we're getting pretty close to having Bond 20 with Marth, but now I hope I can rescue her from here. Yes, I can. Now you get back in the fortress. You know, it's actually kind of funny that I should be using, like, warp strats here. Maybe it's intentional, because, in fact, it probably is, because if this is the map that originally gave you the warp staff, yeah, it makes sense they'd also put a secret shop on the map that you can only access via warp, but, yeah, this was the map where in the original you got the Warp Star for the first
Don't
time.
worry about me.
And the amusing thing about that is that on Maddening difficulty in New Mystery of the Emblem, didn't even really need to trade Jean a Warp Staff, but still, for the sake of efficiency, I'll keep that. I will be proud of myself for giving him that. But yeah, on Maddening difficulty in New Mystery of the Emblem, you don't get the Warp Staff. It's replaced with a Vulnerary, which I personally find hilarious. And speaking of which, let's actually do this now, because Jean and Cedal have the other chest covered. Barring some crazy shenanigans, this does kind of prevent Lapis from taking any further part in the battle. It would be kind of funny if I was able to somehow get her to, like... Nah, she wouldn't even be able to attack Tiki from over those walls. Yeah, you know what? Let's get my engage back. A bonded shield will probably be useful here. And let's just, top up your health. So, unfortunately, I have to end my turn with Lapis in order to actually get this, but this is the silver card. 30% off! Yeah, it's actually been nerfed. It's usually a 50% discount in most Fire Emblem games. It is kind of a pain this is DLC exclusive, but, like, the main money sink in this game is, the donations anyway, and I'm pretty sure this doesn't discount the donations. But yeah, there's a lot of really, really useful items in, the chests in this map. Again, it does feel a little pay to win, but that's why I'm saving this until now.
The other door has opened up. I think we can finally head toward the emblem.
I like that Vander is getting a big speaking role here, but it's probably because... Actually, no, wait, you have to do this after Chapter 6, so theoretically this could have been Alfred.
You are incredible. I will have to give this my all.
But yeah, I was just saying it was probably Vander because he's one of the people you're guaranteed to have by this point. But yes, now we actually have to deal with Dragon Tiki. I love that sprite. Whoever did that sprite work there is amazing. But yeah, so these weapons, Eternal Claw, Tail Smash, and Fog Breath. There might actually changes based on the scaling of this map, but she also has these skills: Light Sphere, Star Sphere, Life Sphere, Geosphere, and no Dark Sphere, because otherwise she would be evil and brainwashed. Which she's already been once, she doesn't want to be again. So, okay then. Oh.
This item is not for sale.
I hope Marth is enough that I can actually... Yes, it is! I can actually finish you with the longbow thanks to Marth. Well,
Cannot afford
Wyvern
to
getting hit sounds really nice with the echo. Of course, you know me, I'm always up for hearing Wyverns getting hurt. However, Anna is about to take an enormous pummeling. But, I mean, I could rescue staff her, but I think I'm gonna go for, I mean, I could engage plus, but no.
Lend me your strength.
Let's go Lucina. And again, there's always the possibility that I get that 10% bonded shield fail. It's the first time for everything, and it probably would be now if it were to happen. Hi, Tiki.
Well, Tiki, it sure has been a while. I'm glad to see you. How have you been?
About to murder a small child, apparently.
Mama, I'm so glad to see you. I've been doing so well.
This conversation is... I apologize to any of you who are motion sick right now, because the dialogue boxes are flapping up and down with Tiki's wings.
If we win this battle, I hope we can fight side by side again. I'd feel better having you as my ally.
Of course. I would love to travel with you once more. And then we can chat forever and ever.
Yeah, she is using Tail Smash. Thank you for not failing that 10% bondage shield. That would have been really bad if that had hit.
Stay back.
And thank you again. Of course, the higher damage one was one that missed. Oh, Yunaka's Ziggo did wear off. That's kind of a shame. I believe, yeah, Tiki is not considered flying. She's just considered a dragon. She's just considered a dragon. She's just considered a dragon. Okay, then. I mean, that's a possibility.
BT's brought us here.
Once again, Anna just kills me with her emblem line delivery.
I won't let you do what you want.
So we've got 3 health bars on Tiki. Can I actually do this? I don't really think I kind of doubt it, honestly. And I kind of have to bondage shield, otherwise Anna's probably dead. Which means I think I'm good right now. Oh yeah, she gets her ailments cured at the start of every turn.
Oh, that's no more.
Okay, Tiki was a moron then, because there's no way she would have been able to use that tail smash.
Watch out!
Okay, thank you for that. Still haven't failed one of those, which means, of course, that 10% fail rate is going to come in at the worst possible time. Oh, there, finally! Better late than never. There's the reinforcements. Okay, I feel kind of bad that I got reinforcements to spawn, because I have been able to end this before reinforcements before, but you know what? Let's actually, wait, no. Let's have Aaliyah get a little bit of damage in, because I'm pretty sure there's a conversation here.
I was wondering, do you enjoy being a divine dragon?
I didn't always, but now, yes. I think I do. It taught me what I'm truly capable of.
This conversation makes a little more sense if done later in the story.
I see. I'm very curious to learn all about you. Will you tell me more about yourself?
Of course. I will tell you all that I can.
Yeah, because in her home universe, I believe Tiki was the last divine dragon left, so she didn't really have anybody else to discuss these kind of things with. But I do, well, I mean, it's kind of sad that Marth is beating her up, but at the same time, I kind of like that I'm taking her out with Anna with a falchion.
I'll go first.
Is this maybe one of the first times I've actually used falchion? And yeah, what a time to be showing it. So, stage clear. Definitely didn't take 20 turns. It usually doesn't take me 20.
Wow, that was incredible. I tried my very best, but you still won.
Well, considering that you attacked with the smash weapon against somebody who had falchion, I don't really think you were trying that hard.
You showed me your true essence as well. Even in battle, you were warm and kind.
You got that from one Parthia shot, I see.
I would be ever so glad to help you. I quite look forward to working together.
You know, that actually just made me realize. So, Parthian shot is the actual origin of the phrase parting shot. It's from a people who developed a tactic of firing arrows while retreating from horseback.
Thank you, Tiki. It's very reassuring to have you on our side.
I'm flattered to hear you say so. Oh, and it's not just me. My bracelet friends are here as well. I'm sure they would be happy to help.
So beating Tiki's divine paralog unlocks access to the others.
You mean there are even more bracelet emblems here in Helios?
5 more to be exact.
Yes, we just arrived recently. I'll tell you where they are, so you can go and meet them. I do believe they are all sleeping. I only hope they're having good dreams.
Well, there's a few of them who have some pretty dark things to be dreaming about.
I used to have terrible nightmares about turning into a beast and hurting people.
That must have been awful. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Aaliyah has kind of had almost those same nightmares.
It was. But it's better now. I don't have those scary dreams anymore. And now that I'm with you, I think my dreams will only be happy ones. That's why I'm so grateful not to be alone. I want to become friends with all your friends.
Yes, maybe not all of them, but certainly a lot of them.
That won't be a problem. You're bound to get along well with everyone.
I cannot wait to meet them. Let's be on our way.
And so with that, we get full access to...
Mama, I'm so delighted to see you again.
To Mama. Yeah, this is definitely case for putting this paralog off, because, depending on, like, you generally either need to do this very early or very late in order to see this conversation.
It's a relief to see you as well. Now I can fulfill the promise I made to protect you.
I'm glad you remember. I never forgot. Now that we're reunited, I know I have nothing to fear. This will be so much fun.
With you by my side, Tiki, I'm sure I can take on any battle. Together, we will protect Helios.
I promise to give it my all. I can't wait to travel with you again. There is so much for us to talk about, and so many adventures to be had.
Indeed. We have a lot to catch up on, and just as much to look forward to.
Oh, Mama. I missed you so much.
Lines that will make anyone who's played their game smile. Even if you don't know the context from Mystery of the Emblem, if you've just seen Shadow Dragon, you'll know that. If you've seen spin-offs, but speaking of spin-offs, it is admittedly, the duo of, like, young Tiki and adult Tiki from Awakening in Heroes, they have some awkward lines about, like, young Tiki being like, hey, I want to marry Mama one day, and then adult Tiki being like, how do I break this to her without either crushing her heart into a million pieces or causing a time paradox?
Wow.
But yeah, in Japan, Tiki calls Marth Oni-chan, and yeah, I've talked about that before, the localization that they used for that. Mama only came back to bite them, like, once, because in Tokyo Mirage sessions, they really couldn't do that. They just had to have her say big bro, most notably because it's, it was in Japanese voice acting, so obviously people would be hearing Oni-chan, so there wasn't really much they could do there.
Yep.
But yeah, calling him Mama and then Bantu Ban instead of Oji-chan, then I can definitely see it. Vale is kind of like the sort of modern successor to Tiki, really. So overall, that's not a particularly difficult paralogue, even though I did had some trouble with it at times. But you do want to have warp and rescue stars for it. It makes achieving some of the side objectives a lot easier. Oh! Okay. I think someone actually told me that deer and moose are kind of either related or the same animal. I don't live somewhere that has, like, either species at all. Let's go ahead and do Anna's Bond 20 conversation with Marth. One step closer to unlocking the amiibo outfit without amiibo.
Good news! Today is now officially Marth-Anna Friendship Day.
An occasion worth marking. But why declare it a holiday all its own?
Because that means there's gotta be a party! Also, it'll help make sure I never forget you.
Well, I am honored to be celebrated. But I would remember you fondly, even without a holiday.
I was gonna say that was surprisingly wholesome, but Anna is just wholesome in general in this game. And on that note, though, so I will have recently shown the ending where it is implied that Anna meets up with some of her sisters, and they look like the Awakening and Fates Annas. In Heroes, speaking of duo heroes, there is a duo Anna with the Awakening Anna, Engage Anna with the Awakening Anna, and I like to consider that canon to her story arc in this game, because just look up their dialogue, it's amazing. It's canon that they're actually sisters and they've met, and Engage Anna is just so happy. It's amazing. So now, we have Tiki's emblem bracelets. Join me next time when I decide on who I'm going to be using her with. See you all then.